everyone. We are going to talk about the euro debate crisis. As you can see, this is talking about national debate by country, like India, Japan, and Eurozone. They are in the percent of total GDP are nearly in the red. Okay. So let's talk about European debate crisis first. As you know, PIGS, it means Portugal, Ireland, Italy, Greece, Spain, and these words combine to the word PIGS. These countries, because of their financial crisis, can have a great impact on the global economy. Okay. And Euro debate just collapsed. Also, let's talk about Greece first. We believe that Greece triggered this financial crisis. Greece, there's a lot of Asian anthems is often regarded as the cradle of democracy. So in Greece, there are a lot of historical sites and mythology and those gods. Yeah. So many tourists and from all over the world, they would like to travel to see these historical buildings. And Greece is developing their tourism industry since they don't have natural resources or factories. So they developed their tourism industry. But these years, because of the economy crisis, and those travelers don't have that much money to travel all over the world. So the income of Greece government just decreased. And they don't have develop other industry. Okay. So this is the one reason. The second reason is about the political. Greece, the people in Greece, they would like to raise their social welfare and national health insurance or salary. They would like to live a better life, and but the government don't have that much money, and the political, those governments would like to win the election, so they present some political views, and in order to win the elections, so the people would actually vote for them. But finally, the government don't have that much money, and the government just collapsed, and the problem is getting worse. Yeah, so it just Greece economy just collapsed, and as we see, Greece just triggered this economy, and like a chain reaction. Okay. Well, so before the economy tsunami in 2008, because of the poor economic growth, and U.S. is leading the economy, so those Eurozone countries carried out expansionary fiscal policy, which means the problem doesn't solve, but getting worse because of this policy. Let's talk about EU use history. In a long time ago, those Eurozone countries, they have like war or conflicts together. They fight together, and they if they want to change, like to trade, but they don't have the same money, so they got barriers, and they cannot trade easily. So recently, in 1999, Eurozone established. So these countries can trade more easily and just in one group. Yeah. As you can see, just established European Central Bank and financially controls Euro. But basically, it looks like they are control the Euro, but some monetary policies are different in some countries. So there are some problems cannot solve.
Okay. Due to the problems Euro have been met, they developed two policies. They are monetary policy. If the government use this policy, it can change the bank can change the interest rates and also can influence the money supply. So they can change the interest rate. And next one is fiscal policy. This is about government. Government can change tax rates, and also they can influence the demand in the economy, so they can change it. And how about the problems about after joining EU? Every country in the European Union can have low interest rates, cheap credit. For example, Greece. They can take loans in the low interest rates. So they have more. They borrow more money from the other countries in low interest rate. And after their money used up, they will buy more loans to pay the loan previously. So this is the bad cycle. Okay, so at last, if the country spend over its limits, never collapse, like we just talked about. And that's the reason, and he just talked about like politicians. They have to win an election, so they have more policies to increase the benefits to the residents, but they didn't consider the bad influence to the money alone. Next one is we talk about United States. United States of America have a lot of debts like this. It increased after the World War. So this chart shows who buy his loan. They have 14 trillion national debt.
Pie chart. K chart.
Okay. How about
K chart.
so first, how about the European debt crisis happens? First, the pigs, like we just talked about pigs, they don't have enough money to pay back the countries they bought loans. So they first class, they broke up, and they influence the main country in the Europe, so, like Germany or France. And after they are all bankrupt, and it impacts them all over the world. And it's all we're talking about.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the austerity measures. So, like as they talked about, like all the countries collapse, and then who pays the debt that they cannot repay? So the strongest country in Europe is Germany. So Germany right here, okay. So Germany tells the other countries that they can help them pay back their debts, but in order to do that, they have to cut up spending, they have to borrow less money, and they have to pay back more debt. So that seems like a perfect solution, right? But it's wrong. Why is that? Because the government is the biggest spender in the entire economy. So that means that if the government spends the most money, if we take Greece for example, Greece the government gives money to the people so they can have more jobs. But if they cut down spending, they cannot get the jobs paid, and then the people who doesn't have earnings cannot pay taxes, and taxes cannot go back to the government, which is how the government earns money. It doesn't balance out the country's finance in that solution. So, and another problem is the cultural differences. Like if Germany repays their debt, Greece has to give it more money. But the lifestyle of Greece and Germany is exactly the opposite. Like the Germans are very strict and they keep things on time, and Greece is very relaxed. So that makes Greece does not repay their debt while Germany is having to pay them back quicker. So it's like that, what they say is called a chain reaction. So if Greece, right here, they cannot repay their debt, and they borrow other money from other countries. So other countries cannot get the money that they receive back from Greece. So they get poor. And then in these kind of situations, they go back to Germany. So the whole entire European continent goes bankrupt. So the problem right here is that Europe cannot austerity measures cannot just get the money back right quickly, and these kind of situations is called short-term bail. So you cannot say that these things are not going to happen again. So they need a different fiscal policy in order to slow down the growing economy. So the solution is have official power to cut spending and raise taxes, set laws, and install a European financial stability facility. So in order to solve these kind of problems, the euro has to have a central legalized thing to do those kind of things. So there's a European Physical Compact signed last year. It tells that all countries have a general budget deficit of less than 3% of GDP, an MTO of less than 0.5% for countries that the GDP ratio exceeding 60%. And if you cannot do that, you can be fined with 1% of GDP if not under the limits. So that's about it. Thank you.